All right, we got some news to talk about. We did get a trailer this week for season 3 of What If, and they're making it look like it's going to be their final season as well, which I find interesting. Did you guys have a chance to see the trailer, and what did you think? And of course, Montego, you can go first.
That's interesting, man. Yeah, I saw the trailer. I only saw What If season 1 and the first show of
Okay.
season 2. That was kind of deliberate. I kind of lost interest. Um, I,
Okay.
I can't tell if I'm a fan of it or not because I was a super duper fan growing up of the What If books because they were
Yes.
so special. I mean, and they weren't so earth shattering when it happened. Sometimes it was like goofy stuff. What if Spider
Mm-hmm.
Man, didn't have webs, or something like that.
Right.
What if Hulk killed Wolverine? Something like that.
Well, right. I mean, but this, like, everything seems so, like, when I was watching the first season and the first show, most of the stuff was so cosmic. And then, I think the first season they had like some of the real actors, from the movies and stuff, and then
Yes.
some of them was replacements. And it just seemed like it was so much pressed into it for you to be impressed. And I don't think I was ever impressed, even with the Peggy Carter stuff and things like that. I was like, okay, and then like they had like the what was it, the madness, the Scarlet Witch, the number 2 of Doctor Strange, and they had a lot of those elements of that What If for season 1 in there, and I don't know, I don't know if I was suffering from fatigue. I don't think I was, but I just wasn't that damn impressed, even with the anime style.
You make an excellent point, because the what if stories were meant to be one off. What if this happened instead of this? Mm-hmm. And what they did with the show is they've connected them, and they came up with the multiverse Avengers, yes, and the Watcher is involved, and all these crazy things. And it was like, okay, like, it's entertaining, but it's not the what if books.
Yes, back to you. That's a great point, because it was just random stuff,
Yeah.
What if Wolverine did not have adamantium? You know what I'm saying? It was right. Like, and not that was a book, but it was like that. And it was just like little subtle things that would be like, what the hell? Let's see what that looks like,
Right.
But with this book, it all seemed to be like something more bigger going on. I mean, I remember one of the stories where T'Challa was Star-Lord, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, it was interesting, but it wasn't that damn interesting. It went too hard on, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be a curmudgeon, but I think they just went so damn hard and tried to make them being so earth-shattering that it lost the fun of what If was, because What If was so goddamn fun. Every time it came out, I was like, oh, this is good. But with this show, it was like, ooh, oh, and I was like, why am I ooh and oh on shit that doesn't matter, right? Because,
right.
Because I'm not a multiverse fan, like, to establish an audience, because there's no stakes. Multiverse shit happens. You can always find another Spider-Man. You can always find another Thor. It's going to be a new Robert Downey Jr. as, Dr. Doom. So,
yeah.
What's the stake?
Goddamn travesty.
So I'm not a fan of it. And even Deadpool in his movie was like, guys, the multiverse thing. And I was like, oh, God, thank you. Thank you, Ryan Reynolds, for pointing that shit out, that, the multiverse stuff is a shit show. So that's my opinion on it, Dave.
All right. How about you, Don?
Well, as I've said before, I've been tired of the multiverse since they started doing it in the MCU. And I've also said before that I don't quite understand the what if when we already have a multiverse in the main MCU. So it's just not resonating. I mean, there's been some cool things like, Ultron immediately killing Thanos as soon as he could make any sort of, monologue and shit like that. But just like Montego, I didn't see the season 2 of What If because of all the reasons I just stated. We already have a multiverse. It's just not that interesting to me. So with season 3, I'm certainly not anticipating it. But, Sir Mix-a-Lot, big but. They showed Storm with, her Asgardian powers. which is, I like that part of the character.
Yeah.
I like them saying, hey, you know, Storm can fuck around with Asgardian shit too.
Pretty hot as hell.
And see, yeah, absolutely. Like,
hot as hell.
you know, those fucking thighs, like, if she would let me, I would go in and I would have, you know, just streaks on my face, you know, burnout streaks on my face. But, so yeah, I mean, obviously anything X-Men I'm into, so they kind of hooked me a little bit.
See that,
you know.
It's obviously the same actress who voices her in X-Men 97. But it's funny because that is a story from the comics, not a what if story. Like there was a Loki story or X-Men story where she got a hammer and had the power of Thor, and it was Loki tricking her to one up Thor. So it's interesting that they're doing this and making it a what if. So that's like, to me, that's the only episode I think I'm interested in at this point. So
they got me with the fucking Avengers Voltron because they know I'm gay for giant robots. So that, they'll get me there too.
Yeah, I know. You're gay for a lot of things. All right. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.